Hello Year 8 and welcome to the last in our lessons on that are related to travel writing. Before we get on to the actual lesson, I want you to do the do now, which is on Macbeth as usual. A bit less specific this time in terms of there's no quote to explode, but I want you to think, why do you think Lady Macbeth encourages Macbeth to murder King Duncan? I want you to think about obviously the fact that she's female and she is very ambitious, possibly even more ambitious than Macbeth is. Um, but think about the context, think about the time. How would an ambitious woman like that have access to power? So why do you think Lady Macbeth encourages Macbeth to murder King Duncan? Just write a short response. I'll just give you 5 minutes to do that. Today, we're going to be thinking, now that the lockdown is easing up slightly, and hopefully in a couple of months' time things will be, well, not back where they were, but at least approaching normal. I want us to think about what it might be like if we'd owned a hotel through this time, and now we had to open it up again. So we're going to be doing some persuasive writing, which is to do with publicising a post-lockdown hotel opening. So that's your title. Publicising a post-lockdown hotel opening. Imagine you own a hotel in a holiday resort. This could be in the UK or abroad. You've been closed during lockdown, but now you've been given a date when you can open for business. Now, we have to understand that customers are going to be nervous about staying in hotels. How are you going to convince them that your hotel is safe? Here are some ideas for your hotel. You need to think about this because the type of hotel it is important. If you look at the Four Seasons one, top left there, that is primarily to do with business. People go there and have conferences and so on. Where the one on the right, that magnificent building there, look, it's in Las Vegas. It's a huge guitar for the Hard Rock Cafe. Obviously, the emphasis there is very much on having a good time. So the sorts of things that you'd be thinking about in those types of hotel would be different, you know, when you're convincing people to go back and that they can be safe. The one bottom left there, very grand, that looks like the sort of place where you might have lots of wedding receptions and so on. And on the bottom right is very much a young people's party type of hotel. So choose, you can think of one yourself, but you could be inspired by those pictures. However, we have to remember that customers will need to feel safe. Here are some of the social distancing measures that could be potentially in place at any of those hotels or your hotel. Top left there, those people look like they're in a lift, don't they? They're not 2 meters apart. We're a little way down the line here, imagining that probably they're wearing masks or the social distancing isn't quite 2 meters anymore. But you might need to think about how people travel around your hotel. On the right there, obviously greetings. I think that's going to become a thing now, that elbow bash rather than handshaking. Bottom left, that's more the sort of conference type of thing there. They've got a conference speaker with everyone spaced out. And on the bottom right there, swimming pools. You know, how are you going to convince people that they can have a good time and yet still be safe? Right, here are a few measures I will be implementing at the reopening of Houghton Hotel and Spa. Can you think of any others? Right, I'm going to introduce mobile check-ins and check-outs, so people as they're approaching the hotel can check in on their phone or do it at any time before. I believe that's always been an option, but now it'll be compulsory. Everything is contactless via smartphone, no cash at all. Customers don't need to come down and necessarily, well, they don't need to come down and speak to the person on the reception desk. They can do it via direct chat on their phone. Only allowing a certain amount of people in the swimming pool and gym at one time so that they can properly socially distance, and enabling all food and drink to be ordered remotely by phone. Those are the main things that I'll be implementing at the Houghton Hotel and Spa. Perhaps you can think of some others. And also, when we come to write the piece, we need to not make these restrictions sound too much like restrictions. We've got to build them in to the fun experience when we do our piece of persuasive writing. So your task is to write a piece for a brochure that convinces people they will be safe in your hotel while at the same time enjoying themselves. Now, what we have to remember is that going to a hotel, they don't have to go there. So simply telling them that they're going to be safe is not enough. They're going to be safe if they stay at home. So they need to be able to go there and enjoy themselves while staying safe. So it's going to be a piece of persuasive writing that's sort of above and beyond anything we've done before. This will need to be very persuasive. People are reluctant to leave their homes and spend money. You will need to use all the aspects of DeForest. I know you know what these are, but just make a note of them if some of them have slipped your mind momentarily. Direct address, anecdote and alliteration, facts, opinion, rhetorical questions, exaggeration, emotive language and statistics. Now here's a little example I've done of the opening of my piece for the brochure. I'm sure you can make yours look a lot nicer than that. Hello and welcome to the grand reopening of the Houghton Hotel and Spa. When you come to stay at the Houghton Hotel and Spa, you will be able to enjoy all the wonderful facilities while being completely safe. We have been in touch with our hotels in New Zealand and have testimonial from guests saying what a great time they had. We stayed at the Houghton Hotel and Spa in Auckland and had a brilliant time. Some of the social distancing measures were even fun. This was from a satisfied and still healthy guest of our hotel in New Zealand. Now, you can see I've used direct address there. I've highlighted it. The anecdote, which I always think is possibly the most powerful of all the DeForest techniques, anecdotes. I always get that in there. And some emotional language. The direct address being you will be able to enjoy, talking directly to the customer. The anecdote being a story from a third party that supports your point. So that testimonial, that reference from New Zealand is anecdote, and emotional language. And we had a brilliant time. I think you could possibly put exaggeration in there as well. Some of the social distancing measures were even fun. But I leave it up to you. There's an example. I've got three of the DeForest techniques in there. Now it's your turn. Remember, the survival of your hotel is reliant on your invite, convincing people that they will both safe and have a good time. So there you are. You need to write that piece for a brochure for your hotel and send it to me. I've received some fantastic work from you Year 8, and obviously I'll be continuing to receive that. It'll be lovely to see these. And it's been a pleasure interacting with you over this half term, and have a lovely half term, and I'll speak to you again after half term. Thank you, Year 8.